You know, every once in a while in South Africa, there a very weird thing happens. Um, which is flipping how. Katiba ya kabatu. Oh, okay. Every once in a while in South Africa, a very weird thing happens. Um, the politics tends to die down, and people kind of get back to their lives, their normal everyday lives. They get back to their jobs and all that other boring stuff. Yeah. Now, that's not what we're here to talk about today. Okay. What I'm here to talk about is a very specific group of people who just don't like peace. They just peace is not. It's not part of their vocabulary. You know, and it makes me wonder: how do you live with yourself? Um, there's a very specific group of people in this country that are dedicated to just disturbing the peace. They always want there to be chaos. They always protesting for things that don't even deserve our attention to begin with, you know? Such people are Jacob Zuma supporters. How you're supporting an 80-year-old man who's probably not even going to be here in the next like 5 to 10 years or something. He's not part of South Africa's future, let's be honest. He's part of South Africa's present, but not South Africa's future. This dude has a very, very large following. A cult like following, even. He's literally like, he has like a cult like um, status among his own supporters, okay? And it does make me wonder, just how far have some South Africans fallen into the whole associating a country with one man kind of thing. Um, it does make me wonder. It makes me think. And this is a serious problem. A problem that needs to be addressed. Now, as much as I genuinely don't like Jacob Zuma supporters. Now there's ANC supporters who I don't like because they're really just kind of like masochists at this point, And then there's Jacob Zuma supporters who honestly are supporting this one dude who is, in the grand scheme of things, irrelevant. In terms of the future, he's irrelevant. In terms of the running of the country, he's irrelevant. In terms of just every day that passes, Jacob Zuma becomes more and more smaller, you know? South African politics is fast forgetting about Jacob Zuma. It's just how it is. And unfortunately, he will go down as a thief and a crook and generally just someone who's really good at evading the law. Okay? Now, there is a hashtag on Twitter at the moment. And it's the same mob again. And I thought we should, just look at some of these and laugh. Um, I thought we should look at some of these and just really just, if anyone's like a psychology student here, or a philosophy student or whatever, if you want to know what a delusion looks like, we're going to go through this particular thread. Um, Unfortunately for me and for everyone else, it's actually the number one trending hashtag. I think in South Africa. I'm not sure at the moment. These people are embarrassing. Plain and simple. It's not complicated. These people are embarrassing. I am embarrassed to call myself a South African alongside pretty much all of these people, right? So I'm talking too much. Okay? I'm talking too much. Let's get on to the business, okay? Ah, I'm not following Trevor Noah. I don't want to follow you. We start off with one of the really what it actually is this is one of the instigators in chief of the Zuma riots that took place and ended up basically just fucking everyone over. Duduzane Dudu, as well as a bunch of other people, are responsible for a lot of the unrest that has been happening in South Africa lately. Here she is again. Yeah? We are Jay-Z and Jay-Z is us. There's no freedom without Jay-Z. All roads lead to Pietermaritzburg, 10 August, Amandla. Let's take a beautiful look at the picture. Let's all meet in front of the Pietermaritzburg court. Now, let's break this down, shall we? When is the police going to apprehend this woman? When is the police going to hold her accountable for instigating violence, for instigating protests? It's one thing if you're protesting for justice and you actually have a point. It's another thing if you're protesting for something like Free Jacob Zuma, when pretty much every fucking legal expert in South Africa in general, agrees that the jailing of Jacob Zuma by the Constitutional Court was just. Mainly because Jacob Zuma himself is the one who flipping sent himself to prison. All the old man had to do was comply. That's all he had to do. Comply with the court order. Guess what the idiot did? Nope. This is what fascinates me about human behavior. Right? Now this was 14 hours ago. Okay? When she says there's no freedom without Jacob Zuma, this is like some high-level propagandizing right here, you know? This is some serious propagandizing right here. It bothers me that people like this have influence in this country. It genuinely does. Because what's going to follow is that a bunch of really gullible idiots who are desperate for attention, who are just plain ignorant, or just blinded by their own kind of political agenda, they're going to follow. They're going to follow. When she says, hey, let's meet, in front of the Pietermaritzburg court, surely if that happens, she will get arrested. Surely if that happens, she will get arrested. That's if she's there, because I can guarantee you she's not going to be there. She's not going to be there on the 10th. Let's be honest with ourselves. She's not going to be there on the 10th. So far, her and her brother have done a very good job of basically just campaigning online while they themselves never show their cowardly faces. They've been doing a very good job of basically telling people to go out and protest, to go out and basically just make the country a living hell for everyone else. Just because you love your daddy. I mean, this is some serious selfishness right here. It bothers me that these kind of people have influence, you know? Not to mention the fact that flipping COVID regulations will be broken if people actually, follow her word basically. It's sad. It's extremely sad. So, what's here? Card Tracker SA says these are the names of some of the victims of the Phoenix massacre in a hashtag Free Jacob Zuma campaign and the background of what really happened. Oh, we sympathize with the family. Oh shit. I haven't actually looked at the Phoenix situation. Is it the massacre? I don't know. Let's just call it the Phoenix massacre, okay? So, Delani Kumalo was shot and burned while looking for a petrol station in Phoenix. Dude, is this true? Mlondu Kumalo allegedly shot and burned while looking for a petrol station in Phoenix. Mbuyazwe Zondi allegedly beaten to death. Tabani Talani shot. Shamin Flongo shot. Lindani. Okay, so shot, allegedly shot, allegedly stabbed to death, allegedly shot, allegedly shot, allegedly shot. Holy smokes! Okay, so allegedly shot at Kuniba Mall, Konubia, something like that. Konubia Mall. I don't know what that word is supposed to mean. Holy shit. Guys, is this actually what happened? I wasn't taking any of this seriously until, well, now. If that's what happened, we have to deal with this. We can't just let it go just like that. Ah, no. Some more anti-vaxxers. Some more anti-vaxxers. My laptop is so slow. I apologize for that, okay? This one guy says he's waiting. Bam. My laptop is slow right now. What the fuck is this? And this guy says the Constitutional Court must release Mr. President. I don't know whose president that is, but it's not the president of South Africa. So this Mchunu guy, why exactly are they celebrating the fact that there was no evidence against him? Yes, 3 was. Well, there's that. Wait, this dude says we are not completely free when Zuma is behind bars without a trial, without a docket, sentenced on a civil matter. Wait a minute. You think people can't be sentenced on civil matters? No lower court has heard his case? Asked to mitigate before being found guilty. Surely this is a joke. Oh man. You are watching the absolute best of what South Africa has to offer intellectually, okay? Stay tuned here, okay? So this guy says, Angilwi, but I dare you to show me one picture of Cyril Ramaphosa donating food parcels. Just one. I don't understand how that's relevant in any universe, to be honest. It's not Cyril Ramaphosa's job to donate food parcels. It's his job to run the country. And even if he didn't, like, so what? I mean, there's one guy says our justice system is captured. Yes, indeed. Such a character, he says. Oh, man. The only president I recognize and call mine. What's he saying this time? So this Mr. Handsome guy, he's one of the famous guys, isn't he? Says he will miss Mr. President when this wannabe botter is done with you. So Cyril is a wannabe botter? Damn. Media is the biggest enemy of black people in this country. It has destroyed decent man in order to promote puppets. Yeah, nah. A decent man that's been escaping court for like the last 21 years. But hey, he's a decent man.
Let the people express themselves. That's why in democracy, governments are in place democratically and removed democratically through the vote. I don't know what is it that makes people to be excited. Perhaps it's the newsworthy stuff, fine. But that is culture of democracy. In autocratic and dictatorship states, you can't see that. To me, I'm very happy that South Africans have matured in democracy. And you have a president that they can talk to, whatever is in their minds, not restricted. They are not going to be arrested, they are not going to be harassed. That is democracy.
South Africans are not mature, okay? I can trust you when you say, just, no. Ah, yes, Duduzile with another one. While you are enjoying your freedom, remember that there is a 79-year-old man who had to fight twice for his freedom. Yes. Ah, dude. Like, the virtue signaling from her is just insane. It's literally just insane. And it is kind of weird, since these protests of theirs... Okay, so let's check this out real quick. How big are they? It's like 50 people. To anyone who doesn't know what they're saying, they're basically saying no matter what, we're going to come back with Msholozi. My isiZulu is not fluent just yet, but I'm getting there. My dude. This is just pathetic. Honestly, you know what the funny thing is, right? I genuinely think, get these people some jobs, and just like that, like 99% of them won't be here at this particular protest. I'm telling you. They won't. It really is that simple. It's not complicated. It really isn't that complicated. What kind of freedom do we have in South Africa if people are getting arrested for telling the truth? Who is he talking about? Some more strike action? I don't know how long you can hold that particular dance, my guy, but good for you. At least you're exercising, eh? At least you're exercising, my guy. At least you're exercising. Free President Zuma now. Yeah. What's happening here? Nobody's above the law and everybody's equal before the law. Jacob Zuma. Well, yeah, but like...
Of immunity?
No, why should I do so? We are running a constitutional democracy in South Africa, and you are practicing a very clear rule of law. There is no president, whether he wins with 2/3 majority, who can then stand up there and say, I'm now cancelling these charges. Impossible in the South African setting. What we are doing in South Africa, which people should appreciate, is that we are treating our constitutional democracy so well that no citizen of this country can be said because he or she holds certain positions cannot be tried. That's what, in fact, we are going to see. We are going to once again do something.
Okay,
that
this is like just pandering. The idea that Jacob Zuma said there's no one above the law, and yet when they basically tried to jail him, after numerous attempts at trying to get him to come to the fucking table, the idea that, yeah, come on, man, come on, what's happening here? I see this profile picture a lot. What the hell does it say? DJ Tira said nothing about the Phoenix massacre and the people of KwaZulu, but only comes to lure them to be vaccinated so they can come and make money. I mean, it kind of makes sense for you to tell people to get vaccinated, no? It's not a bad thing. I mean, you make it sound like it's a bad thing. It's not. Vaccinations are cool. I have no idea who this Zamo is. So this one guy says, being Zulu is not a crime. Okay, no one said it is. Supporting a call to free Ubaba, President Jacob Zuma, is not a crime. He's not the president, Baba. You can imagine that reality all you want, but he's not. Okay, inviting people to support a call to free Jacob Zuma is also not a crime. You're not allowed to invite people. Don't invite people, okay? Invitations end up as mobs and just... Dude, COVID, come on. Come on, my friend, come on. He exposed the real estate capture from private sector to judiciary. He announced free education. He announced new mining charter. He developed a World Bank BRICS. He advocates for land expropriation without compensation. He's the most loved president in South... No, he's not. Dude, the most loved president in South Africa was basically Nelson Mandela. You know what makes Nelson Mandela so he's miles ahead of these dudes, right? Now, I have my problems with Mandela, but what I will tell you is that not only was Nelson Mandela loved in South Africa, he was loved pretty much all over the world for whatever reason, okay? Jacob Zuma is currently in a very tight race with Cyril Ramaphosa for the worst ever South African president. And no, I don't count apartheid presidents because they were never presidents of South Africa. They were presidents of white people. So, there you go. Done. Okay? They are literally two of like the most horrible presidents we've ever had in South Africa. It's pathetic, honestly. Ah, yes. I mean, I mean, you see the delusion that these people are under, you know? He exposed the real state capture from private sector to judiciary. Even though he was the one who was like, you know, fucking looting money with the Guptas and shit. But hey, what can I say, man? What can I say, my dude? What can I say? So it just says free Zuma? Okay, never mind. Jacob Zuma, it is brother's funeral. What's he saying? Is he singing? Okay. I will give him this much though. He's extremely charismatic. Extremely charismatic. And that's, I would say, one of the horrible things about. Ah, man. That's just him in general, you know? I don't like this dude. I genuinely don't.
I feel that what ought to have happened in order to avoid to get where we are now is that there should have been fighting that was done on the side of Ndate Zuma. From where I stand, when I heard the ruling, when I was sitting in court, I was of the opinion that, well, firstly, the contempt was a given. He would probably be found guilty of contempt of court, or rather contempt of court for failure to adhere to the constitutional court order to appear. But when I heard the sentence, that's where the shocker was. As my colleague just mentioned from the Helen Suzman Foundation, a suspended sentence is something that you almost expect to go hand in hand with a contempt of court ruling or finding. So when we heard that it was strictly or straight 15 months imprisonment with no option of a fine, no option of suspended sentence or anything of the sort, and then you look at the Commissions Act itself, where it says that as a witness who fails to come and testify, it should be imprisoned for no more than 6 months imprisonment. You start to wonder, were we taking over? Did the court take over the rule of law a little bit too far, or was he now being sentenced for other matters outside of the issue of the contempt of court? Because when you look at the actual act and the sentence that is prescribed in the Commissions Act, it's no more than 6 months. So how did we get up to the 15 months?
So, is he going to show the rest of the clip? Dude, you can't just show the 1 minute and 33 seconds that agrees with your point of view. That was a whole panel, wasn't it? In that case, I have nothing to say about this. Look at this. It's a whole panel. It's a whole panel of people. It's a whole 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 people there. Why don't you show the other people? My friends, you are watching what is ultimately just a bunch of people who are really just disillusioned, you know? So basically, this was Zuma was the first martyr. This dude is also going to be really basically just, you know, raised up as like the promised child who beat the system because the system was trying to screw him over and stuff like that. Even though the system is targeting many other people. But yeah. It's extremely funny, man. It's just sad. So, President Jacob Zuma is way far better than Nelson, Thabo, Kgalema, Cyril, and all his toy soldiers like the likes of Malema, Holomisa, and Khacha. Twos. I'm starting to get the impression that actually I'm not starting to get this impression. Like how does a group of people just end up like this? Because here's the thing, I genuinely liken this to, you know, the support that Donald Trump has enjoyed up to so far in the United States of America. I genuinely liken this to that, because it's almost like very identical in terms of just the delusions, and like the delusions that these people have about how great this guy is and so on. And when you ask pretty much all of them, what's your evidence? They're just like, he's just a great guy, you know? It's just, they just fumble. It's weird. It's genuinely weird. But perhaps the most scary part about all of this is the level of like support that they're willing to give him is so much that it almost becomes like a it's like a cult following, you know? What's happening here is extremely just sad. But yeah, these are the kinds of people that we have in the country. People who genuinely just enjoy generating outreach and outrage and stuff like that. This dude says the SA justice system is racist. There is actually a point there, funny enough, to be made, but I haven't looked into the numbers, so I'm not going to comment on that particular issue. What's happening here? Citizens demand justice for blacks who were killed in Felix. Oh, okay. Oh, wait, is that Gate? Nah, that's not Gaten McKenzie. Who's that? Who the hell is that? Which party is this? Never mind. Oh, okay. Oh, my dude. Okay. I just yawned. I think I'll be out just now. I mean, ultimately, I just wanted to just like do like a nice little video, you know? Yeah. A father of the nation. No, your father. Don't involve everyone. Yes, it's these people. So, we have a very long way to go in this country. I genuinely think we have a very long way to go. The politics in South Africa is extremely just altered to the point where people vote with their emotions. And when I say people vote with their emotions, I mean everyone. It's not necessarily specific to anyone. I mean everyone. Okay? I have no idea what to say about this. Except we are stuck with people like this. There are actual people in this country who want to make it better. And then you have people in this country who just want to fight. They don't like peace, you know? To them, it's just peace is not acceptable. Chaos is more of a thing because that's kind of how they operate. That's where they feel free. That's why they thrived during the looting and stuff, you know. But every time there seems to be a kind of reverting back to the old ways, reverting back to like some kind of normalcy. Jacob Zuma supporters have a habit of just showing up like that, just boom, showing up and accusing people of, you know, persecuting their messiah without trial. Even though, I'll say this again, okay? Pretty much every legal expert that has been questioned on the flipping verdict basically came out and said this is justified. If you don't believe me, look it up. Doesn't matter where you go. You can go on YouTube, ENCA. You can go SABC. You can go on Newsroom Africa. You can go on News 24. You can go on IOL. You can go on Business Tech. Doesn't matter. Every major outlet is basically saying, hey, we don't really see a problem with this. We don't think there's any injustice that's been done. If anything, this guy actually put himself in jail because he was given multiple chances to actually come forward and tell his story, and yet he didn't. If anything, he actively disrespected the courts, and this is what you get, you know. And it is kind of funny, like the whole Jacob Zuma situation. I have to say, it's extremely funny because you disrespect the courts, and then after you disrespect the courts, once the courts basically say, okay, we're done with you. You've been running away from us for the last 20 years, and you thought you could do it one more time. Okay? Because let's be honest, that's exactly what he's been doing this whole time. Right? He's been running away from the courts, he's been avoiding jail, he's been avoiding trial. Not even jail. He's been avoiding trial this whole time. You feel what I'm saying? The stall tactics that Jacob Zuma employs in, like, his defense. It's kind of weird how an innocent man is so reluctant to have his day in court. It's extremely weird. If you're innocent, then surely nothing's gonna come up. No? Surely, if you're innocent, then nothing's gonna come up. And he himself has come out and said, hey, I want my day in court. They gave him a chance to have his day in court, and he ran. He stalled. He postponed. He does everything in his power. Each and every fucking time. He does everything in his power, this guy, to stay out of court. Like, it's... And then when this happens, all of a sudden, it's unjust. I mean, it's clearly mind games. And you stupid supporters are never gonna see that. It's sad, man. Like, it's extremely sad how a whole population of people can willingly just forget about the state capture of this country. They can willingly forget about the Guptas. They can willingly forget about just the complete and utter collapse of all our state-owned enterprises. You know, they can willingly forget about the bankruptcy of the flipping SABC. Municipalities are going bankrupt. SAA went bankrupt. But SASA went bankrupt. I mean, we can go on. Okay? Not to mention the fact that Nkanda is still there. It's standing. Nkanda, I don't care what you say. Nkanda represents, my guy. Ne? Nkanda represents the looting that has taken place by Zuma and his cronies during his time in office. All the money is, money is money. But Nkandla is like a symbol. 250 million rands. Gone, just like that. And then all of a sudden, boom. The flipping homestead gets built. You know, it's disgusting, man. And I guess, expecting a politician to be honest is perhaps me expecting way too much, because the nature of the politician is not to be honest. But people, it's just, I never expected so much people to be so gullible, especially since Zuma is out of office. You feel what I'm saying? Back when he was in office, I would understand if he was in office, but now he's no longer in office. And his supporters are just cult members at this point. It's perhaps one of the most disgusting, things I've ever seen. Okay, but anyway, I need to go. I just needed to do this real quick. Okay, big boy. Like, share, subscribe and comment, and yeah, do all that other stuff that cool people do. Okay. It's been real, and I'll see you guys next time.